Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen and vector designers, we're going to do Inkscape the Freestyle Challenge. So the first thing you need to know is that my throat is scratchy. The first thing you need to know is that Inkscape is free, and if you search around, you can go to the Windows store, the Windows App Store, and you can download it for free. So you can get this at home, and remember, it's a desktop app. You're going to find it on the desktop, and so that on the school computers, that's where you're going to find it. Look for Inkscape. All right, let's go back here. Okay, the next thing is I want you to take a look at the scoring guide. So on the scoring guide, we're going to go through here. The first thing we need to do is draw a snowman using the pen tool. It needs to be a closed path. It has to start and end at the same point, and make sure each lump is larger than the one above it. All right, so let's go ahead and open up Inkscape. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to poke around here and we're going to make a new document. And let's see if it's going to tell us what size it is. It didn't really tell us what size it is. So probably the first thing we ought to do is save this thing. So go File, Save As. And we're going to save it on this PC, and we're going to search around for your folder with your name on it. Alright, so we're going to find my folder with my name on it. You're going to find your folder with your name on it. Do this with me. Alright, there I am. There's my folder with my name on it. And I'm going to go into, just like if you haven't done so, make a folder called Creative Computers. If you don't know how to, ask me. We're going to go into a folder called Vector Design, make that folder if you haven't. And then here's my freestyles. So now we have to give it a good name. Notice it's going to save it as a scalable vector graphics file. So it's kind of a generic file format that all vector programs can use. So we're going to call this thing Inkscape Freestyle. And I'm going to put my name on here. Okay, and we have the choice of how to save it. We're going to save it like that, and so we hit save. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out how to use the pen tool here. And so first of all, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to move this out of the way if I can, so we have plenty of space to see. So we're going to zoom in, and we're going to start drawing our snowman. So we're going to come down and we're going to find the pen tool. And up here we have some choices. You can try different ones later on, but right now we're going to use the Bezier path. And so I'm going to go to the top of his head, and I'm going to click and drag, release. I'm going to go to the side of his head, click and drag straight down, release. I'm going to go to the crack of his head here, click, drag, and then this one, it's not Alt drag, it's Shift. So I go click, drag, press Shift to make a corner anchor point, drag, release the mouse, release the Shift key on the keyboard. Now I'm going to go down here, click, drag, go down here, click and drag, Shift, release the mouse, release the Shift. Okay, I'm going to come down here. Notice each of the lumps is bigger than the lump above it. Click, drag, release, click, drag, release, click, drag, release, click, drag, hit Shift, Alt, drag, release the mouse, release the Alt, click, drag, Shift. Oh wait, I'm gonna do this one wrong on purpose. And I'm gonna come over here, click and drag, and come over here and click and drag. Okay? And so the next thing I'm gonna have you do is let's go through and fix it and make it perfect. So we're gonna come up here to the node tool. Each of these are called nodes, and these are called handles. And so we're gonna drag these handles and make it just right. Okay, so we'll move the node. There we go. Okay, and so same thing, we're going to move the node, adjust the handle to get it just how you want it. Actually, that looks worse, but anyway, you get the idea. So we're going to make it perfect. And then what I wanted to show you over here, I'm supposed to have a corner anchor point, and I didn't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that node, and then if you look up here, I have the option to change some different things about it. I'm going to change that to a corner anchor point, and then I can come over here and drag it just how I want it to be. Okay, so I'm not going to belabor it and make it perfect right in front of you, but make sure that you're getting these things just right. Okay, so the next thing, let's look back at the scoring guide, if I can find it. Okay, let's go look at the scoring guide. It says it needs to have a fill color and a stroke color. Finish it with eyes, nose, hands, and buttons using the other available tools. That should be a separate thing. Okay, so so it needs to have a fill and stroke color. Let's go back to Inkscape. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on it. So we're going to use this tool, the selector tool. We're going to click on it, and we're going to come down here and we're going to give it a light gray fill. That's too gray right there. Give it a light gray fill, and then for the stroke color, if you look over here, it says what does it say? Oh, it doesn't tell us. Alright, if I want to do the stroke color, I'm going to hit shift and then click to change the stroke color. So I've changed the stroke color to something that's not black, anything but black. And then I want you to come over here and I want you to go to the stroke style, and let's increase that to either point 0.555, so we're going to say 0.555, or do it 0.6777. Don't do it at 0.666. That's the devil's number. We won't use that in this class. But change the stroke weight there. Okay. So now the next thing I want you to do is I want you to play around with all of these tools right here, and I want you to draw the eyes, the nose, the buttons, the hands, and all that stuff. So you have to use the pen tool to do the body, but you can use any of these other tools to do the rest of it. Let's go back to the scoring guide and see what's left. Okay, and then the final thing is use a bunch of other tools to draw something of your choice. Make sure you use color for all that, and then make it different from the previous one. So in the last one, I don't know what you did, but make it different from that. And then just make sure when you're done, you go File, Save, and save all your changes. Alright, that's it for this project. Make sure you do your snowman beautiful. You can shrink him down. You can rotate him and shrink him down to get him how you want him, and then draw all your other stuff over here. Alright, thanks guys.